Most of us young people are fully aware that we have the full right to express our opinions and ideas as long as we do not cause any harm to another person's reputation or character using misleading or false statements. After all, Article 13 of the Convention of the Rights of the Child on Freedom of Expression clearly states that
children have the right to get and share information, as long as the information is not damaging to them or others. In exercising the right to freedom of expression, children have the responsibility to also respect the rights, freedoms, and reputations of others.
However, the part of Article 13 that we are sometimes less aware of is that
the freedom of expression includes the right to seek, receive, and share information in any way children choose, including by talking, drawing, or writing.
For people, and children in particular, to express themselves freely in a thoughtful and informed way, they need to seek, get, and share the right information. What we also are not aware of is that Article 13 is tightly linked to Article 12 on the respect of the views of the child.
When adults are making decisions that affect children, children have the right to say what they think should happen and have their opinions taken into account.
Indeed, how good is our freedom of expression if our views are not respected and are not taken into consideration? We have decided to highlight the importance of children's right to freedom of expression and their right to be able to have their views respected by others by applying them to the sad reality of child abuse. To our greatest sadness and utter disbelief, we found that
as many as 40 million children are abused each year, and more than 80% of those are the victims of parental abuse. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child requires states to protect children from all forms of abuse, and so corporal physical punishment has been widely banned across the world. In Lebanon, a child protection law, Law 422, was passed in 2002, but its implementation is very problematic and contradicted by Article 186. Article 186 of Lebanon's Penal Code still permits parents to use violence in disciplining children. In 2014, Article 186 was repealed and then ironically reinstated only 24 hours later because of religious pressure.
Since children are the injured party in this case, we wanted to have their views on the matter. More specifically, we wanted to know whether they thought that the government or social organizations should intervene if parents were using corporal punishment or violence in the disciplining of their children. And so, armed with the facts, we decided to ask some children their opinions on the matter. We have asked 134 children the following question.
Do you think social organizations should be allowed to intervene when parents use corporal punishment in disciplining their children?
Yes, because child abuse affects the child's life.
NGOs should interfere in such cases.
Yes.
NGOs should interfere.
Yes, they should interfere.
They should interfere.
I don't think so, because every parent has his or her right to treat his or her child the way he or she wants to. Unless the child is being violated, of course the organizations can interfere.
Every child deserves the right to have a safe environment.
Yes, because this is not the way parents should treat their children.
Yes, they should interfere because violence is not the answer.
I think that parents have their own right to educate their children and that the organizations should not interfere with the parents' job.
These organizations should interfere in such situations because the child's safety might be in danger.
They should, because sometimes parents are too aggressive with their children.
Organizations should intervene in such cases. They will know how to treat the child in a better way.
Yes, because someone has to interfere to stop the abuse, because violence is never the answer.
I think that every child has the right to grow in a good family and to be treated in a right way.
Just because children don't have the authority to tell, to not let their parents do whatever they do to them, it doesn't mean that they can be treated the way they are being treated. Just because parents are their parents doesn't give them the right to actually abuse their children into making them do whatever they think is right. And so I think that all organizations should actually help the children because they have rights too.
Yes, obviously, because it's inhumane to hurt your children.
Yes, it looks pretty obvious that they should interfere in their life.
Of course, social corporations should interfere because if the government does not provide protection for the children, a third party should interfere in order to provide that protection.
No, they should not, because I think that family matters are personal and no one has the right to interfere in them.
Yes, of course. I think social organizations should interfere in this problem because no child should feel in danger and every child should feel safe.
No, because parents have their own right of educating their children.
They should definitely interfere because violence is an act of cruelty.
I think that they should because if parents violate their children, then who should be there to defend them?
This may be a small reflective sample from one school only, but chances are a lot of Lebanese students and children think the same way. And so, dear decision makers, when you next meet to discuss Article 186 of Lebanon's Penal Code, we urge you to seek and take into consideration the views of the party primarily concerned in your decision, the children. It is only then that their freedom of expression would be of real value.